So again, for those of you who arrived late, I'm really sorry about the problems with the Zoom access. Like I said, I've never used this conference Zoom link before, and so it threw me a curveball, and I whiffed on it. So I apologize for that, but don't worry, all of this will be recorded. Okay, let me tell you a little bit myself again. I'm Dr. DA, and here's about a little bit about my teaching style. I emphasize a lot of concepts more than techniques or methods. And what my goal is to get your mind to work the way the mind of a scientist works. All right. So I'm going to go ahead and switch us over to the Canvas course interface. All right. And again, while I do this, what happens though is that I will not be able to see the chat box. If you have any questions, please put them in there. When we come back to the live session, I'll be able to address some of those. And we will take a little break in a little while, and then we'll go into our first portion of the lecture, which will be kind of fast-paced, hopefully fun and exciting. So let's go here to our Canvas course page. I'm sharing my screen here. And again, at some points during the procedure, I think a little box will appear on the right, top right, kind of blocking the view. That's because someone's trying to get in. So please bear with me as we go through. Hopefully by now you have explored our homepage here. I posted in our initial previews here some access ideas here. Please look at the syllabus. It is very long. It is a lot longer than what I used to have in the past. And by the way, what you're looking at here right now is not what you should be looking at. Give me a second to come back here. I was showing you my instructor view. Let me switch back here to the student view. And this will kind of simulate what you actually will see on your end. Okay, hold on a second while I answer some questions here on the inbox. All right. Let me respond to some people here. Hold on a second, please. All right. I am posting here some stuff for people who are still trying to get in. I apologize again for all of these problems. You know what? I could very easily wash my hands and blame the system. But you know what? I probably should have checked ahead of time. So lessons learned in life. And again, I appreciate you guys' patience in hanging in there for me, okay? I just sent out the new message with the new access information. So hopefully people are getting here. Again, I'm going to try again. Somebody's really trying hard to get in and they can't seem to be able to get it. You know, sometimes what happens is when you do these things, your browser kind of like saves something on the cache and it doesn't let go. And so even if you try to re-inputting the information, it still won't let you in. What I was saying about the syllabus is that I used to essentially send out a file with this, but we've been requested to post everything here on Canvas. And so I had to reformat it. So now it looks very, very long. So please read through here and make sure that if you have any questions, send them to me. I gave you here later on, I'll go through it. I'm going to recommend very strongly that you download the Canvas student app because that way you have access to it on your smartphone and you'll get all the announcements there and you can communicate with me directly. All of our sessions, all of our stuff after today's Zoom session are going to be what we call asynchronous. In other words, you basically will have the materials and you'll study stuff at your own pace. I have tried to organize the course on a week-by-week format to keep you on pace because I know it takes a lot of discipline and a lot of motivation to stay on top of things this way, all right? So please be aware of that. Uh, you can navigate through our Canvas page in different ways. So I have it set up so you can either go directly to the modules, or you can go directly to the sections here, or you can navigate it page by page in a sequential form. We are going to be here for 8 weeks. And my recommendation is that you set yourself on a week by week pace. All right. Please communicate frequently. I post everything in the form of announcements. Those should be getting sent to your email address that's linked to your account. But nevertheless, please come back frequently to your Canvas course page and check the announcements. The best way to communicate with me is to use the inbox, which is over here on the global navigation bar here on the left side. That is the best place to reach me, because that way I get a ping, I get a notification on my app that somebody has posted a message. I do have a text message uh, number here, and I check it maybe once a day. So that's more for things that for some reason you were not able to access Canvas. You can leave me messages there. And of course, if you want to send me things like with attachments, you might want to use my email address, which is here. Beginning next week, I'm going to have some regular hours where I'll be available via Zoom, and you'll be able to reach me there, and we can have private conversations in there. And again, you're welcome to open your camera if you want. I don't need to see your face. I already showed my face to you at the beginning. I hope you survived that experience. But we'll have chance for that. We're also going to have a discussion forum, and the first one is already up. Please read this section about grades. It's fairly self-explanatory, and I'm not going to go over it right now. What I'd like for you to do is to essentially go through it. If you have any questions, you can put them on the chat box right now. I'll check them after we finish this share screen session. And if not, you can always send me a message on your inbox. Please watch your grade book for these things. Please be aware that we have a lot of different ways of helping you. So do not be afraid to contact our Learning and Academic Resources Department uh, to check the Student Technology Help Center. I think I have a link there somewhere. The counseling office. Oh, another thing is my internet connection at my house is kind of like a little spotty. So every now and then, I'm sorry, my audio might kind of fade out or something. Just please be patient. I'll be there for you. Okay, so please check this section of the skill of the the syllabus. I'm sorry. Uh, Now, I don't know how much experience you'll have working a course online, but there will be some communications, and you got to realize that we are not all experienced writers. We're not Shakespeare's here. So when you post things to the discussion board or when you send messages, be aware that sometimes what you say might not come across the way you want it said. So please look at this link for the rules of netiquette. Okay. Uh, Here's another thing, guys. I am very conservative in terms of language. I have a low tolerance for inappropriate, profane, or any kind of offensive language. So please don't get yourself in trouble with me by posting things using language that our society might consider okay, but in Dr. DA's house, any kind of language like that is not acceptable. Also, I understand that as you go through the procedures here and the labs and the assignments, you're pretty much on your own. I'm not a law enforcement officer. I'm not going to be monitoring what you do. So it is on your end. It is up to your level of integrity to make sure that you follow the rules. Don't try to cheat, please. I'm not going to monitor it, but here's my experience in life. If you cheat now, you're going to be caught at some point later. And let me tell you, the consequences here at LBCC are rather harsh, okay? If you are caught cheating on any assignment, you will not only receive a 0 for the assignment, you will be referred to the administration, and there may be a hold put on your transcript and some other disciplinary actions placed. Uh, if cheating is caught after you have even graduated, I know of students, I know a case, and I'll post it later on for our first exam, an example of somebody who got caught cheating and went back, and all of their previous achievements in college were obliterated. They were voided. Please look at some of these tips for success in class. My main encouragement to you is don't fall behind, okay? Please, sorry, don't wait till the last minute to turn in assignments. Set a pace, work on it every day, and that way, when you have questions, they get answered ahead of time, not half an hour before your exam. All right. Uh, Here is what should have happened. Let me go ahead and go back here out of our, let me go out of our syllabus here to some of the things here. Like I said, if you look at your homepage, you'll notice that you can access materials directly from this dashboard here. For some reason, the images are not showing up right now on this view, but you should have a dashboard here that shows images where you can go. Oh, here they go. It's just my internet is a little slow. They're starting to show up now. So you can access all of the lecture PowerPoints. You can access all of our resources here, and you can access the materials for each unit individually here, okay? That'll happen. Or alternatively, you can go over here to our modules, and whatever is available will be present here. I wanted to point out, hopefully you did this assignment here before we started, before we begin. There is a set of things here. I'm kind of hesitant to go through because my internet is a little slow, but there's some welcome videos from Dr. DA, and then you can go on, and there's a page here that walks you through how to use our Canvas management and the Canvas app, how to communicate, how to submit assignments. There's another page here where it'll show you how to process the files that you're going to be uploading for your assignments. And I'm sorry, but I've had to default to the PDF, portable document format, just because the Canvas system processes those a lot better than anything else. So for those assignments where you had to handwrite your answers and then upload them, here are some tips on different ways that you can do that. Please look at that page. All right. Your lab reports are going to work in an interesting way. And again, this is going to take a while to load here. I'm having a low internet. But this page tells you how to do that, okay? And I'll walk you through a little example in a few moments, all right? So let's go to the next page here. And this one is about graphing. As an LBCC student, you have access to Office 365 suite of applications. So you can use Excel. Some students don't like it, and you may have your own preferred way of doing graphing, and that's fine, as long as it comes up the correct way. Now, be aware, again, that Canvas will only accept certain file formats. So if you're doing your work in one of the, Apple or Google apps, your file might not get accepted. So in that case, what you want to do is convert it to a PDF and just upload it. Okay. And let's see what else I have in here. Okay. This is very important. I put this up here. It's a suggested plan of study for our first week. If you want, you are free to download this, and you'll notice that here, whenever you have these links, you have the option of downloading the file or previewing it. And here is a preview of this file. It's essentially a day-by-day suggested plan of how you could go through this. So right now, for example, hopefully You did a little navigation through Canvas. You looked at the before we begin module. And right now we are doing our Zoom session late, of course. I would say as soon as we finish here, go ahead and start with experiment G, which is already posted. It's a graphing exercise. Watch the intro video to our lab. I'm going to walk you through what the lab looks like, although we're not going to be physically there, but I thought I'd give you a little tour and let you know what it looks like. You have some safety videos you have to watch. I would say tomorrow, go ahead and tackle Unit 2. There is a second part to Unit 1, which is already posted. So hopefully you'll be finished with that by today. Notice that we have several activities here. For example, something we call Experiment M. It's an activity where you're going to practice the stuff that is taught here in Unit 1 with measurements, significant figures, conversions, and stuff like that. And then I would say by Wednesday, start studying Unit 3. Those videos are not posted yet. They'll be ready by the end of today. We have a big activity, Experiment 1 melting point. It is due by midnight on Sunday. So you have the rest of the week to do it, but I would start on it right away. Notice that we have our first quiz due by Wednesday at midnight, quiz number 1. And then you have to turn in experiment G, the graphing exercise, also there. So what I'm doing here is I'm giving you an idea. Let me go ahead and come out of this preview. Again, if it helps you, please let me know, and I'll continue providing these weekly guides as we build the rest of the course, okay? So this is over here, our next page. This is our Unit 1. I'm going to do the first part of this lecture after our break. Here are your learning objectives. Here are the activities we have, the assessments that we're going to have for each one. And then at this point, of course, we don't have these first videos because that's what I'm doing right now. But the videos for the second part of this activity are already here. Please watch them. Please download the PowerPoint notes. Those have blanks in them, and I recommend you have them with you either in digital form or printed, and you can follow along and fill the blanks. Trust me, this is a very good way of getting the information imprinted in your brains, to basically not have the complete PowerPoint, but a partial version where you fill in the blanks. Okay, here is our lab tour. Here is the section for the lab safety guides. Guys, there's a lot of stuff in here. Some of the stuff they talk about here we're actually not going to be doing, but I want you to know how to properly conduct yourself in a lab environment, all right? Our next section is our first experiment. As you can see right now, it's locked. It will open at 12:15 p.m., okay? So some of these next things here are probably still locked, or they will be available. Here's our first quiz. As you can see, it'll open up later today, but you have until Wednesday to take it. And then here is our next unit. This will be atoms and elements, and I recommend download the PowerPoint notes and be ready to do this. Perhaps I would recommend you do it tomorrow, all right? Again, I'm just trying to give you a pace of work here so that you don't get overwhelmed, but at the same time, you don't fall behind. So the videos for this lecture are already posted. There's 3 of them. And then our next activity, again, will be locked. It'll open right after this session today. This is a practice on some of the stuff in lecture 1, and so forth and so forth. One of the activities that you're going to be doing is going to be discussions. And right now we have something called a quantum cafe. And what you will do there is when you open that, and it's also present in your week by week modules, I have a little sample there of some information about myself. What you're going to do here is you're going to reply and you're going to post in a little bio information about yourself, okay? Be brief, but be concise. And then once you post, you'll be able to see the posts of other students. And part of your assignment is to reply to at least 2 other students' posts. And you'll get 5 points for that activity. And there'll be more of those as we go along. The discussion forums will be worth about 5% of your grade. Last thing, because I think I'm boring you by now. Last thing is, here is your textbook material. It's in a link here in the course navigation bar called course materials. This is where you will access your TRO book. Don't forget, if you already have the book from a previous course, or you bought it, as a used book, or you have the third or fourth edition, you should opt out of this. And in your homepage here, if you go to this section here called the General Course Resources, it'll open up to a module here, and it has a page here, access to the e-textbook, and there are several video links here, especially one for opting out of this program. If you stay in the program, your account will be debited for the 57 something dollars. Hold on a second while I respond to a student here on the inbox. Okay, let me respond to the student. Poor thing, they're trying to get in. And okay, there we go. I just sent the student the proper link. Here's somebody else trying to get in right now. Like I said, all of this is being recorded, so if you arrive late, don't worry. And again, anything else you missed or any questions you have, guys, I'm here for you, okay? That's my style. Let's see, did I forget something else? Okay, if you don't want to go week by week, you can go ahead and shortcut to the assignments here. And as you can see, the upcoming assignments will be listed here. Now, as you can see, some of these are not available yet, but they will open up at some point later today, and you'll be able to see them, okay? Once more, if you have any questions, send me a message here using this inbox tool here on the global navigation bar. Also, remember that there are several resources you can access here, online learning resources, links, and stuff like that. So, like I said, the school is totally invested in your success. I'm going to step out of here of the share screen. And once more, guys, appreciate your patience with today's issues with Zoom. I hope it won't happen again. I also apologize. I couldn't afford the no glare glasses here when I replaced. So there's a lot of reflection here. I'm sorry about that. But don't worry, you won't have to see my face too often. Most of my videos are straight up PowerPoints. But again, appreciate you staying here. Let me do this. Let's take a 10-minute break. Right now, it's about 11:25. Let's take a 10-minute break. During this break, I'm going to pause the recording. And if you have any questions, please put them on the chat box, and I'll address them when we come back, okay? So we'll be back in exactly 10 minutes, all right?